Coventry City are back in the Premier League for the first time since 2001, but the Sky Blues' journey has been filled with struggle and a lot of pain for their supporters, as they dropped as low as League 2 in May 2017. They have been kicked out of their own stadium on multiple occasions, which resulted in Coventry having to play their home games miles away at Northampton and then at Birmingham City. Add into that two devastating playoff defeats to Luton Town in the final and Sunderland with the last kick of the game. But with Frank Lampard at the wheel, Coventry are now back in the Premier League after winning the Championship last season. But now it's time for us to take over, win the Sky Blues a Champions League trophy. We have to do this by making only realistic signings. So the contract is signed, we're now the new boss at Coventry City, and job number one is simple: stay in the Premier League. And I just want to give you guys a little tip for your career modes going forward. If you want your players to always be fit and always be sharp, copy this training plan. I've used this throughout the entirety of FC26, but as we've already discussed, our first goal of this rebuild is to stay in the Premier League. Given the fact we've only got £54 million in the bank, this could be a bit of a struggle. I mean, looking at the starting 11 we've loaded into, we need new signings in pretty much every single position to be competitive. But speaking of new signings, Coventry have already signed someone, Frank Onyeka from Brentford, who was on loan at the Sky Blues last season. We're going to pay literally next to nothing for him. We'll do this off camera. He will be signed permanently. Now we're making a slight change to the formation. We're going with a 4-4-1-1, which is very popular on this channel. Feel like we need a solid formation to start off the rebuild, otherwise we will go down. We're going to go with a counter-attacking build-up style and a relatively deep defensive line of 40. And we've just changed every single player's player role to the best and most suited role. Just anything to give us a chance at staying up. So it's obvious now we need some new signings to keep us in the division. I'm going to be looking for a new goalkeeper, left back, centre back and central midfielder to add some solidarity to our team and give us a better chance of staying up. Now trying to find transfer rumours for Coventry City online is very difficult. They're keeping their transfer business under wraps. But there's one player I know every Coventry fan wants to see back in a Sky Blue shirt, and that's Kyle Rushworth, who was their first choice goalkeeper last season. I've no idea if they've managed to get a deal over the line for him in real life, but he's definitely not going to be first choice for Brighton, and he is going to be the first player we look to sign in this rebuild. So that's signing number one completed. Frank Onyeka joins the club for £2.5 million, a very good deal to be fair. And now for a signing every Coventry City fan wants to see. Kyle Rushworth is back as Coventry City's number one, and we have paid just £6.5 million to get this deal over the line. Now with £41 million to sign players in 3 positions and players who can actually keep us in the Premier League as well, this is not going to be easy. So first things first, let's have a look at the transfer listed players. Benwer Badashile is transfer listed of Chelsea. I actually think this is a signing that could happen. In the 25-26 season, he played just 8 games for Chelsea. I think he is someone who could leave the club. And Benwer Badashile joins the club for £10.4 million, becoming our highest rated player in the process. So that's a centre-back and goalkeeper ticked off. We've got £27 million to bring a left-back and centre-mid to the club. And I think for these signings, some European scouting's in order. So a new centre-mid has been acquired. This is a man from the Championship who is getting a lot of interest from Premier League sides in real life. As we complete the signing of Everton and Hull City target Hayden Hackney from Middlesbrough, who joins us for £11 million, and I guarantee in real life this man is playing Premier League football. Our final signing of the first season's completed. We have got a new first choice left back as we complete the signing of young left back Bjorn Meyer, who joins us from Club Bruges for just £6 million. So 5 new signings to kick off the first season. Let me know in the comment section down below though, boys, are these signings realistic? As always, I'm always intrigued to hear your thoughts. Now we do start off with a decent youth player in our academy, Felipe Dutra, who will go out on loan this season. But all the rest of these youth players are getting released, none good enough for a Premier League side. If we want to stay in the Premier League, we've got to behave like a Premier League club. Coventry don't have the best youth scout, but we will get some scouting done in season 1. Now we always let you guys decide the nations we're scouting FC26, and because of my terrible pronunciations in the last rebuild, we're going to have to go with this comment. We will be scouting Brazil, and if I'm scouting Brazil, I want some Brazilian flair. We're looking for attackers. Now along with our incomings, as you can see, quite a few players have left the club. Players like Norman Bassetti and Felipe Dutra have gone out on loan. A load of squad players who wouldn't have got many minutes have also been sold. Kai Andrews goes out on loan. He's someone to keep an eye on. He looks like a very good young player. So season 1 is completed, and looking at our starting 11, we have seen some decent growth, but the morale is not the best. Does this mean we've had a poor season? I don't know. Looking at the team, it is a decent team on paper. Is it Premier League standard? I'm not 100% sure, and it's clear to see where the weaknesses are in this team. Striker and wingers are needed in the next transfer window, and we got this notification from the board allowing us to carry over our transfer budget, so we should be going into season 2 with a very competitive transfer budget. That's if we've not been relegated, that is. If we look to the stats, Hadji Wright was our top scorer with 15 goals and 6 assists, whereas Mason Clark and Hackney both got double figures for goals. Clean sheets, only 7 kept all season. I think it's completely 50-50 if we've stayed up or not. Well, thankfully we have stayed in the Premier League. We've finished 15th on 38 points, and it was very close. Bournemouth and Southampton relegated on 31 and 30 points. We finished 7 points clear. So in season number 2, we're still a Premier League side, and we're going to have a big budget to try and pull away from the bottom 3. No success in the FA Cup though. We lost in the 4th round to Man City, who beat us 4-1. And we don't win the Carabao Cup, as the final was played between Chesterfield of League 2 and Manchester City, and they actually managed to score, but City win the game. As for us, it was disaster. We lost at home in the 3rd round to League 1 Leicester, our biggest rivals. I'm not gonna lie, the City fans would have wanted me sacked for that. And we do have £45 million in the bank heading into the new season. I think we're gonna have around 60 to 70 million to spend on new signings. We've now arrived in season number 2. We've got a very good budget of £72 million. Of course, I don't think we'll be able to spend all of this money. Now we need a striker and 2 new wingers to help pull us away from the relegation zone, and I may look to sign 2 free agents, as we're only allowed to sign 2 free agents per season, to improve the quality of our bench. I just don't want to be anywhere near that bottom 3 this season. So as we look to the market to sign the new winger, a vital bit of information has just slid across my desk. Coventry Live have just reported that City are looking to sign Abdul Fatawu from arch rivals Leicester City. We need a new right midfielder in the game, boys. So we're going to be looking to bring Abdul Fatawu from Leicester City to Coventry, 23-year-old, 79 rated, currently playing for Championship side Leicester. I definitely think he'd jump ship. And well, this is controversial. Abdul Fatawu swaps Leicester City for Coventry City for £23 million. I mean, this would not go down well with the Leicester fans, but Coventry Live have reported it in real life. We've made it happen in FC26. And before we make any new signings, we sent Felipe Dutra out on loan last season. He's already grown to 72 rated. With Matt Grimes, 31-year-old, and submitting a transfer request, it looks highly likely that when Dutra returns from his loan, he'll be our starting central midfielder. But before we sign a striker or left mid, we have signed a new free agent centre-back, because we did concede 75 goals last season, and we found a decent player waiting in the wings on the free agents list, as we've signed Guillaume Biancone on a 3-year deal, or Biancone, I probably butchered his name by the way, but at 76 rated, he's an upgrade on Bobby Thomas and will be going into the starting 11. And next coming through the door is a brand new left midfielder who joins us from FC Basel, and we have got an excellent deal for the forward, as we complete the signing of exciting left midfielder Benny Traore, who joins for just 15 million, leaving us with around 25 million to bring a new striker to the club. And rounding off our transfer window, we've signed one of Europe's most promising young strikers, as we've completed the signing of Mihailo Setkovic, who joins us for 12.5 million from Anderlecht. So that's 4 new signings heading into season number 2. Question is, have we kept these signings realistic? But these signings have left us with quite a big squad. We're going to have to relieve the numbers a little bit. Now back to youth scouting for season number 2, once again using your recommendation. For this season we're going with this comment. We're going to be scouting Scotland. The comment wants us to look for the next Andy Robertson, so we're going to look for fullbacks. So there's been outgoings as well, boys. As you can see, some rotation players have been sold. If Ellis Sims going to Leicester, that's definitely unrealistic. Thomas Asante leaves, Wolfenden leaves. Managed to keep the bulk of our squad together in this transfer window. Can we pull away from the relegation zone with the signings we've made? Certainly hope so. So another season as Coventry Boss has been completed, and looking at our starting 11, we're now starting to look like a very strong Premier League team. Multiple players well above 80 rated. Setkovic showing a lot of growth in his first season as our starting striker. There are some positions I do want to improve in this team. Definitely centre back, maybe a right back and attacking mid. We'll have to see how much money we get next season. All in all, some very positive signs so far in terms of player growth. Stats this season, Abdul Fatawu was our top scorer, 13 goals and 3 assists. Setkovic got 19 goals and assists, growing by 6 overalls as well. What a signing he's been. And Hayden Hackney, for the 2nd consecutive season, has got double figures for goals. Really good season there. Not a massive output of goals, but I think we've done enough to stay in the Premier League. And that we have a much more positive season, finishing 10th in the league on 49 points. We scored scored less goals, but we also conceded less goals this season, which I'll certainly take. A top half finish in our second season back in the Premier League. Still minus 10 goal difference though, as Leeds, Wolves and Sunderland go down. We're still yet to put a good cup run together, but we did get Arsenal in the third round of the FA Cup. Of course, they beat us 3-1. We go on to lose to West Ham in the Carabao Cup final, however. We lost in the fourth round of the Carabao Cup to Sunderland on penalties. Hopefully some trophies come later down the line. But we are now in season number 3 and we've got £52 million in the bank. I think I'm going to go with a new centre-back and attacking midfielder with our money, purely because Jack Rudon's output in front of goal hasn't been the best, and I think we are lacking a proper quality centre-back at the club. We may look to the free agents list to improve our bench as well. We definitely need a new backup goalkeeper and fullback, that's for sure. But we've had a player come back to the club who is definitely like a new signing. Felipe Dutra is back from his loan at 19-year-old and 77 rated. He will be replacing Matt Grimes in the starting 11, who is retiring at the end of the season. This guy has got potential to be special. So the free agents list was a no-go. No one on there really with signing. Let's now start working on bringing a centre-back and attacking midfielder to the club. So our first signing of season number 3 is a new exciting attacking midfielder who joins us from the Swiss League, as we've completed the signing of Alvin Sanchez for 24 million from Young Boys. A huge upgrade on Jack Rudone, leaving us with 25 million to identify a centre-back. And we have managed to bring a new centre-back to the club who massively elevates the level of our defence, as we sign Ryan Flamingo from PSV and he signs for us for £22 million. So that's a new attacking mid and a new centre-back acquired, but are these signings realistic? You'll have to let me know in the comment section down below. I mean, we're now looking miles better heading into season number 3. Loads of 80 rated players in our starting 11, but my main cause of retention this season is to see how much Dutra grows by. 87 dribbling already. This guy is definitely the future of the club. So that's another season completed, boys. Wow, this is a strong team on paper. Setkovic reaching 87 rated is insane. Dutra 83 rated after just one season in the first team, and Fatawu reaching 85 rated. Some real world-class players in this team, and we're certainly heading in the right direction in terms of player growth. However, there's 2 positions that have to be improved next season. Right back and centre back definitely lacking behind, and I do think some reinforcements from the bench could be in order too. Now, one player is definitely leaving the club at the end of the season. Matt Grimes is leaving. 33-year-old, 76 rated, been a real good addition to the squad, but he will be saying goodbye next season. When we look at our stats this season, of course, Mihailo Setkovic was our best player, 22 goals and 6 assists. Sanchez and Fatawu both get double figures as well. Good to see. 14 clean sheets kept as well last season. Things are looking in the right direction for this season, and we've achieved a 5th place finish in the Premier League, securing Europa League football. 19 wins, 8 draws, 11 losses, a positive plus 12 goal difference, finishing ahead of the likes of Man United, Villa, Newcastle and Arsenal. But oh wow, in the FA Cup we lose in the third round on penalties to League One Plymouth, brought back down to earth with a bang, and then shot back up into space again as we win the Carabao Cup. We beat Man City 2-1 in the final. Our first bit of silverware added to the trophy cabinet, so a 5th place finish and a Carabao Cup trophy. What an excellent season for the Sky Blues. So we are now in season 4 and we are in European competition this season by way of the Europa League. The board want us to win it, no pressure there lads, and we've got £120 million to get us ready to play in Europe. This is when the rebuild starts to get difficult. We have to still make realistic transfers, so I definitely think we can sign a more exciting player than we have been doing. So our first signing of the season has been completed, a new right back joining the Sky Blues from the Bundesliga, as we've completed the signing of Hector Fort from Augsburg for £23 million, and make that a double Bundesliga raid. A new centre-back has joined the club as we complete the signing of 24-year-old French centre-back Christian Mawisa from Freiburg, and he joins for £33 million. 2 excellent signings here who come in and make us a lot stronger at the back, and both players are very versatile as well. And with Fort and Mawisa added to our starting 11, everyone's now above 80 rated, and we're looking at a very strong Premier League team on paper. However, our bench is definitely lacking in options, and with our remaining funds we're going to look to bring a new central midfielder and winger to the club to help get us ready for European football, and we're going to have £57 million to bolster our bench. And a new central midfielder has been brought in to bolster our bench, coming from the Championship. Eduardo Bove joins the club from Watford for £16 million. And our final signing of season number 4 is a new left midfielder joining us from the Turkish Super League, as we complete the signing of South African left midfielder Oswin Apollos from Fenerbahce for £22 million. So we have arrived at the end of the season, and with the squad we have got, we should be having a very strong season season in all competitions, to be fair. Very, very strong team on paper. We've got our first 90 rated player in Setkovic. Some very unhappy faces, though, throughout the rest of the squad. I hope that's not a sign of things to come. Now, in terms of stats this season, Setkovic was fantastic. 27 goals. Sanchez, Dutra, Traore and Fatawu all get double figures for goals. All signs are pointing towards us having a really good season, but that morale is really putting a downer on things. And rightly so, because we only finished 6th in the Premier League. We've actually regressed from last season. We scored more goals, but we've dropped 4 points and dropped into the Conference League for season number 5. Which, to be fair, boys, I think that's pretty poor. And the silver lining's gone because we lost in the 3rd round of the FA Cup to Chelsea 1-0, and in the quarter-final of the Carabao Cup to Arsenal on penalties. And we even lost in the round of 16 of the Europa League to Bayer Leverkusen 5-3 over 2 legs. So we have now arrived in season number 5 and the board are furious. We've got a terrible manager rating and they've stripped almost 100 million away from our playing budget. We've only got 59 million pounds to improve our squad. And I can't lie, boys, I really think offers could start to come in for our star players. I mean, we've got so many players above 85 rated. Obviously, we want to keep the likes of Setkovic, Dutra and Fatawu. Just being brutally honest, I don't think we've got enough money in the bank to improve any position in our starting 11. I'm going to look to improve our bench by bringing a new backup goalkeeper and backup striker to the club. So we waste absolutely no time in bringing the new backup striker to the club as we raid Championship strugglers Birmingham City for their star number 9. August Prisket is swapping St Andrews for the Coventry City Stadium for £24 million. Now, one thing I feel the squad is lacking is some proper experience, so we've signed a very experienced number 2 goalkeeper. As we complete the signing of 33-year-old goalkeeper Herve Coffey from Everton for £6 million. He's been Everton's first choice keeper for the last few seasons. He brings some vital experience to the squad, and I definitely think our bench is looking a lot more competitive right now. Loads of 80 rated players. We could see some of the players in our reserves sold, and well, we knew it were coming at some point. Man City are raiding us for Alvin Sanchez. I had a feeling we'd lose some of our better players in this transfer window. They've bid 72 million for him at 85 rated. I think that's a fair deal. We are going to sell Alvin Sanchez to City, and we now need to bring a new centre attacking midfielder to the club. So we've just completed the signing of Alvin Sanchez's replacement, and it's a player who's got a lot of experience in the Premier League and at international level, who's currently playing in the World Cup right now. As we've completed the signing of Julio Enciso from Strasbourg, and he's signed for £46 million. Bit of a like-for-like transfer with Enciso and Sanchez. They're very similar players. And another player who looks to be heading out the door is Benoit Badiashile. Manchester United have bid £23 million for him. I definitely think he'd want to swap Coventry for Man United. And we replace Badiashile by bringing in another left-footed centre-back as Callum Doyle joins the club for just £24 million on a 3-year contract. And there has been some other sales in this transfer window. The likes of Oliver Dovin has been sold. Apollis has requested a loan. He's gone out on loan to Bayer Leverkusen. Kane Kessler-Hayden, Mason Clark and Kai Andrews all leave the club as well. Been a very high turnover in this transfer window. Will we have enough to get in the Champions League? Maybe win a trophy? Only time will tell. So the season's over, boys. Look at this team. Honestly, if we're not in the top 4 with this team, I'm ending the rebuild now. What a side we've got on paper. The team is so strong, I don't actually know where to improve it. We could bring a right back in to replace Hector Fort, but he's 24 and he is still developing. Then again, we don't really have a decent backup full. Yeah, we actually do in Van Ewijk. And we've got Coffey as well as a good goalkeeper. He's actually grown at 34-year-old. Improving this team next season is going to be a struggle. Looking at the stats, Mihailos Setkovic got 35 goals and 7 assists in 66 games, which says to me we've gone far in Europe. Enciso with 25 goals and 12 assists as well. Dutra with 20 assists and 17 goals. That's insane. Tewu and Traore and Hackney all having good seasons. So many players got double figures for goals and assists. That is really, really encouraging. And we've got every right to be encouraged. We're in the Champions League next season. We've finished 3rd in the Premier League on 70 points, only behind City and Chelsea. Next season, Coventry City will be in the Champions League, but we won't be adding an FA Cup trophy to our trophy cabinet. We lost to Fulham in the semi-finals 2-1, and they went on to beat Newcastle United 3-0 in the final. And we'd reached the Carabao Cup final, but lose to Liverpool 4-2. Absolutely devastating. But we would redeem ourselves in the Europa League. We beat Chelsea 2-0 in the final, adding a Europa League trophy to our trophy cabinet. And next season, we head into the Champions League as the defending Europa League winners. So this season, we debut in the Champions League. We've got a £171 million transfer budget, and we're also in the UEFA Super Cup. And the board are actually expecting us to win the Champions League this season. That's crazy. Now, we've got to try and keep the signings realistic. We are a Champions League club. We've actually got injuries to Fort and Rushworth in the off-season. Where can I improve this team heading into the Champions League? Well, the bench is very strong. It can't be denied. I'm thinking, should I bring a new centre-back and right-back in to replace Hector Fort and Mawisa? They can drop down to be rotation players. And then we'll sell players like Biancone and Van Ewijk. But having to keep the signings realistic, signing a world-class player for Coventry is going to be pretty difficult. Now, unfortunately, boys, I couldn't find a centre-back signing that I actually deemed to be realistic for our price range. It was an improvement on Mawisa. But we did find a right-back. I think this signing is realistic for a Europa League winning club, as we complete the signing of Tino Livramento from Atletico Madrid, and he signs for £65 million. Definitely think he'd be open to moving back to the Premier League for a Champions League club who've just won the Europa League. And I felt like we were lacking a backup centre midfielder, so we've brought one in from the Eredivisie, as we complete the signing of Joel van den Berg from PSV for £26 million. What a start to the season, lads. We've battered PSG in the Super Cup final. And is that a sign of things to come in season number 6? Well, the season's completed, and as we can see, the Champions League final has been reached, and we'll be taking on Barcelona. In the league phase, we would go unbeaten and finish second out of all the sides, with Feyenoord topping the league phase. This would set up a round of 16 tie with Real Madrid, who we beat 7-5 on aggregate in a thrilling game. And interestingly, table toppers Feyenoord went out on penalties at the first hurdle. A quarter-final tie with Benfica would follow. We'd win the tie 3-2 on aggregate, setting up a semi-final with Porto, who we bounced 6-3 on aggregate, winning the second leg away 5-1. Barcelona beat Lens in France to set up a Coventry v Barcelona final. They're going to have a good squad, so I certainly hope we've got a good one. In the Premier League, we finished second in the league on 77 points, 10 points behind winners Arsenal, who were deserved winners. To be fair, we haven't even come close to winning a Premier League trophy so far in this rebuild. But we do win our first FA Cup of the rebuild. We beat Manchester United 2-0 in the final, adding an FA Cup trophy to our trophy cabinet, getting revenge for the penalty shootout defeat a couple of years before. And there'd been no Carabao Cup this season. We lost in the semi-finals to Man City, who beat us 6-3 on aggregate. Now, before we check the squad, there was a signing made off camera. We made the signing of James Trafford, who joined us from Como for £30 million. This is because Carl Rushworth was injured for 4 months this season. I think James Trafford to Coventry is a realistic signing. So going into the Champions League final, this is going to be the starting 11 with 4 90+ rated players. No one in the starting 11 below 85 rated. We would have had Livramento in the team, but he's injured. He's not 100% fit, and he's got 0 sharpness. I will bring him on in the second half of the final. Looking to the stats, Mihailo Setkovic was amazing once again. He got 40 goals and 4 assists in 63 games. Atawu, Enciso, Traore, Hackney and Dutra all absolutely amazing. When it comes to picking a Hall of Famer, I'm going to go with a little bit of a rogue shout. I'm going to give it to Felipe Dutra, who's come through our academy, grown to 93 rated, and at 22-year-old, he could literally reach 99 rated in this rebuild. So for that reason, Dutra will be the Hall of Famer, but literally any of these players you can see right here could be the Hall of Famer for this rebuild. So let's have a look at Barcelona's team before we get the game underway. 2 good players there. Obviously, Yamal, 95 rated, probably the best player in the game at the minute. A good midfield with 93 rated Pedri. A decent defence with a good goalkeeper. I can't lie, boys, we've got more 90 rated players. Our team's more well-rounded than Barcelona's. We've got more players above 85 rated as well. Old Trafford, the venue, we've got the home advantage technically. Got a feeling this game could be a bit of a possession battle. That's nice from Cafane. Could be a great challenge. He's given a free kick. Free kick on the edge of the box for Barcelona. Watch this fly in the top corner now. Yamal taking it. Oh, he's gone short to Pedri. What a waste. Good interception. It falls to De Bruyne. What a save by Rushworth. Corner kick to Barcelona. First chance of the game. They've made a quick start here. We need to get a bit of a grip. That's too easy for Firmin. Shot blocked. What a miss by Cafane. That is a big let-off. We need to wake up. Otherwise, we are going to lose this Champions League final. Back to Fatawa, who's got the pace. Oh, the heavy touch takes it away from Malik Thiaw. And Seesaw, good ball. Fatawa. Across the box, cut out by Guardiola. First attack of the game for us, half an hour in. Dutra and Seesaw, who can shoot from distance, has a shot. What a save by John Garcia. Dutra. Hackney. 1-2 with... What a ball. Hackney, it's got to go in. It is in. It's 1-0 to Coventry, completely against the run of play. Aidan Hackney gives us the lead. Really nice 1-2 with Maya. Get in the box. We've got that little bit of time, and we just pick our spot right in the top corner. And it has to be said, against the run of play, we take the lead, but we'll certainly take it. Barca just move the ball so fluently and nicely. It's so hard to get it back off them once they've got it. Good ball. Keeper should be getting to that. Doesn't quite get to it. It says poor touch by Flamingo. Yamal. Oh, it's 1-1. It's a terrible touch by Flamingo. And Yamal is not going to miss from literally... Look at this touch from... Oh, it's so bad. Oh, I can't lie. We was in front for all the 5 minutes, and Barcelona definitely deserved to be back at least level in this game. That's half-time, lads. I can't lie. I thought that goal would have sparked us into life, but a huge mistake from Flamingo, and it's 1-1 going into half-time. That's a poor ball. And it's given straight to Sekovic, who's got pace. Sekovic, this is a huge chance. Oh, it's put it wide. A 40-goal-a-season striker. Oh, my God, Sekovic, that had to go in. That's really nice, actually. Good interception by Hackney. Sekovic make up for it. Sekovic make up for it. Sekovic make up for it. It's 2-1 to Coventry City. Wow, this is a frantic game. Let's not throw this away now, boys, please. We finally managed to get Livramento on with 5 minutes of the game to go. Just foul him. Good tackle, good foul. That's killed the game, surely. Yellow card for Traore. They've got to pump this long. If they play it short, it's game over. Johnson. Shot. It's over the bar. And there is the full-time whistle. Coventry City are the champions of Europe. Wow, that was one frantic Champions League final. And Coventry City are officially the champions of Europe. That's another rebuild successfully boxed off. And I'll see you in the next one when we head to the Eredivisie.